Hello, I am Sydney.
And I'm Melanie.
And this is Drawntaneous. So, what categories are we going to get today?
Right, well, we are going to video games.
Oh boy!
And if I can find the D12, that is a 9 with a bar on top of it. That was my favorite quote from the All Bards panel we went to. For those of you who are taking a moment to figure out why that's funny, it is a 6 on the D12. So that is... We're going to be doing Final Fantasy 15. Oh boy.
Boys.
Oh, our boys.
I love them so much.
That is a 7. 7 is Creator's Choice. So, Sydney.
That's my choice.
Yeah. What character do you want to draw today?
That's a good question. Probably Noctis, because...
Noctis is a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He is a very good boy. Well, while you draw our very, very good boy, would you like to talk about the delightful things we found in Artist Alley?
Oh god, I loved Artist Alley.
Artist Alley was so good.
I wish we could have spent more money.
Well, we did really good with our budget. Did you get anything in particular that you enjoyed?
I got Letters for Lucardo from Iron Circus Comics.
Oh, that's a good one. I just finished reading it.
Good, saucy vampire sex.
It makes me cry, though, Sydney.
Yeah, it's very...
Oh.
I'm very ready for the next one.
I hate where it ends. I wish...
It's a cliffhanger.
It is a cliffhanger!
Because now you're going to buy the next book.
That's true. That was a very, very good one.
Yeah.
From Iron Circus, we also got Crossplay, which I have not finished reading yet. I did a really quick, very, very quick read-through of a certain part, just because I was curious. I was flipping through and I saw it, and I was like, ooh, I want to read more about this. But it's basically about, I believe, a trans man and his experience with cosplay, and struggling with his identity, and trying to feel more true to himself. So I am very excited to read that one. It is a saucy book. There are a lot of flesh tones. It looks really good. Very, very touching in many ways. But yeah, I'm very excited. The one thing I definitely identified with was wearing a binder. Oh my goodness. Sydney, have you ever worn a binder before?
I have, but the kind that I've had have hooks on the side.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I've never had the problem of getting stuck.
Yeah. My binders that I've worn in the past for my crossplay have been compression tank tops. So no hooks to hook you in, no Velcro, none of that. It was you squeeze into it and hope to God that you don't get stuck. The character in the book doesn't get stuck, but the person helping them put on the binder says, and by the way, if you do this by yourself, don't panic, you will get stuck. You're fine. Just don't freak out. You can do it. Because I have definitely tried taking off a binder before without anybody else around and got stuck as one of my first experiences wearing a binder. So that was, I remember that moment of panic. And yeah, you just kind of stop, catch your breath, because you're tired, struggling against this very constrictive piece of clothing. And then you're able to wiggle your way out after a little bit. But it is always easier with a friend, I find.
Well, now you have a wife, so...
Now I have a wife, and you help me get in and out of my corsets, which I greatly appreciate.
Yeah.
Anything else that you got? I actually don't know all the stuff you got.
It was I got a lot of prints. I got a book. Oh, fuck, what's it called? Oh, shoot.
Who did you get it from? Do you remember?
I don't remember the artist's name. It's, can you go grab it off the shelf for me?
Yes. What is it?
The Ghost and the Gardener.
Oh! Like Taproot?
Taproot, yes!
Is it on the shelf?
It should be somewhere out there. One of the comics I picked up from Artist Alley is Taproot, which I actually read a long time ago when it was still on Tapastic or Tapas, before Spike Trotman ousted them as a terrible company that steals IPs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't part of their terms of service that whatever you created for their platform was their property?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, fortunately, Taproot got to exist again and I got to finish it, and it was very sweet, very cute, about a gardener who can see ghosts.
Wasn't it technically like a gardener necromancer?
Well, I mean, he didn't know he was a necromancer.
It's pretty tight, though.
Yeah, it's super good and super cute. Very queer, which I live for that shit.
Oh, yes.
So I enjoyed it quite a bit. That was probably one of my favorite books that I bought.
I should give it a read when we can find the book again. Some of the things that I grabbed. Well, rather, there's two things I want to talk about. One, I want to give a shout out to Corey Bing, because I was just walking by their table in the on the show floor, and I stopped and went, "Oh my god, those pins are amazing!" Because what those pins were the depictions of a diagram found in biology textbooks that highlight what convergent evolution is. And so convergent evolution, Sydney, for your information, and for whoever may be listening.
I mean, I definitely don't know what it is, so tell me.
So convergent evolution is the idea that there are different non-connected evolutionary lines that adapt similar traits to tackle the same problem. So, for instance, flight. I think specifically it was flight that they showed. I wish I had the pins with me so I could remind myself what the diagrams were. But I think it was a bird wing and a bat wing, and there's a third one, and I don't remember what it is. I want to say it's like, no, it's not a hand. Maybe it's a fin, because flying is very similar to swimming. Who would have thought? But in the diagram, it highlights all of the bones and how they've similarly changed over the eons to create these new structures that look very similar, because a bat wing, a bird wing, and a flipper all look kind of the same because they're all tackling the same sort of concept. So it's just a very, very neat, interesting, what's the word?
Concept,
supporting evidence for the theory of evolution. Theory in the sense of the scientific meaning, which means it's basically a law. It's forever changing, forever updating, forever correcting itself and checking, but it's not just a theory, it's true. But and they glow in the dark. The pins glow in the dark, which I find very exciting. So I'm very excited to, when I re-enter the scientific community at some point after grad school, during grad school, I will proudly wear those pins on my coat lapels and kind of rep my nerdy background. Corey Bing also did a earring, a very cute, tidy little glow-in-the-dark earring. It's a saber-tooth skull earring, which is delightful, and I adore it very, very much. But yeah, they had a lot of stuff that I want to look into more. A lot of literature, a lot of books that I am definitely interested in following up on. This next thing, we both are very excited for. It is the Fairy Fire book. It is a 5th edition supplemental. And Sydney, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
So Fairy Fire is a fan-made creation, and it essentially adds a whole lot of monsters, races, items, all based around fairies. But the best part of it is the aesthetic is very 80s and 90s.
Specifically Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
Which is very good.
Well, and glam rock, too.
And glam rock, yes.
Because it talks about the Fae court and the Fae wilds in particular. And there's a portrait of a conglomerate dog?
Yes.
And it looks like a Lisa Frank picture
I'm pretty
on
sure,
steroids. It's
I'm pretty sure they
so
looked
good.
at that, because I can envision the Lisa Frank image that they based it off of and just mutated the crap out of it.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
It's very good. Very, very good. So this book is published by Astrolago Press, and they're a small Canadian press focusing on tabletop gaming and fantasy art books. And their goal with this book specifically was to just put a lot of queer representation into tabletop gaming. So a lot of the characters they introduce with their book, they're not necessarily conforming to the gender binary. The monarch of the Fae court is actually, I think think it was agender, they said. They have no gender. They go
Yeah.
by they, them. Some of the characters are lesbian. Some of them are trans. And it just goes on and on and on. There's all sorts of representation in this book. And it's very interesting how they do it. So I am very excited for us to utilize this book in our own games at home. The other cool thing is there is actually an adventure at the very end of the book, which I don't know if you noticed, Sydney.
I did not notice, and that's excellent news for me.
Yes, less work for the DM.
Yes.
But if you're interested in purchasing Fairy Fire, you can go to astrolago.com, and a hardcover copy and I believe a PDF copy of their book is available. We are also very excited for their second project, Sydney.
Oh, witchcraft!
The book is called Witch + Craft, and it's a very, very cute little book coming out.
It's very much an homage to Kiki's Delivery Service, which, oh my god.
So I read a little bit on their website. They say that it is a book about domestic magic. So being a tailor, being a bookbinder, a potion brewer,
So, as a
culinary
warning,
artist.
this outfit's not going to be accurate at all because I don't feel like looking up a
I was
reference.
gonna say, I'm like, what are you doing over there? Hi, Riku.
Hey, shut up.
There is no distinguishable difference between Noctis and Riku.
Except for, like, hair color.
Except their hair color. Like,
Also, Riku gets better.
I mean, they both
He gets happier.
Okay, I was gonna say they both kind of get better. Final Fantasy 15 is a quite a tragic story.
Look, I want to pretend it never happened.
You just want to believe that the alternate ending in episode Ignis
Yes.
is the true ending.
Yes.
That is quite a polarizing DLC. It seems that half of the fandom hates it, thinks it cheapens the actual ending, and their like emotional sacrifice, and the other half of the fandom is like, no, it's a fix-it. Like,
Thank God.
thank God, we want happy gays. So it's interesting how polarizing it is, because these are like diehard fans on both sides who really love these characters and who are really into the queer representation, but they both completely take different sides on this particular DLC and whether or not it's accurate or it's a true like fix-it ending, or if it's, I don't know,
Pandering.
I suppose. I don't know if it's necessarily pandering.
I wouldn't call it pandering.
No. It's an alternate ending, which you can choose to enjoy or not enjoy, I guess.
Fans, they're never happy.
It's true. So that about wraps it up for the fun Artist Alley treasures we found. Anything else in the Artist Alley that you would like to talk about before we move on?
I mean, just got to meet Trungles and Tess and like lots of artists that I really enjoy, and they're people, so they're actually willing to talk.
Right.
And it's nice.
I met Tess Stone a long, long time ago when they were still doing Hannah's Not a Boy's Name. And it was so long ago that I can't remember specifically what was going on or what we talked about. But the thing that I thought meeting Tess now was, wow, you seem really confident and you seem really happy about where you are in life right now. Whereas back then, there was kind of something there that was...
Well, I mean, you and I know what it is, but
Yes.
it's not our business.
No, it's not our business. But, like, I'm just really happy to see how happy he is now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so nice to see that turnaround and to see that confidence and to see that just, like, be you. Be the true you. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. And getting to create stuff again after... Apparently, from what I heard, like, the Hannah Is Not a Boy's Name IP got stolen by the people printing the books.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that blows. Always read your contracts, kids.
That's rough.
And get an agent. Or, just talk to another professional artist. They're usually more than willing to, like, help you, because they don't want you to fall in the same pitfalls they did.
Do you want to talk about the table setups real quick? What did you think?
Definitely some ideas to take. I think the ones I don't like are where, like, the display is almost like a cage. And you can't see the artist.
Right. Yeah, that is a little confining.
Like, I would hate it, like, if I were tabling, but I also just don't like it as a customer, because it's like, I can't see you, and part of the experience is, like, being able to be like, hey, I love your shit.
Right. That's interesting because I have seen some, because it's con season, I've been seeing a lot of stuff floating around Twitter, and one of the recommendations is actually like putting up a physical barrier between you and the other stores around you. So there must be a better way to kind of mark off.
Super duper agree with that either, because it feels very disconnected from other artists, and they're not the enemy.
Right.
Like, other artists are your allies. Like, that means you can ask the person next to you, be like, hey man, I have to go pee. Can you just make sure that nobody steals my shit? Like,
yeah, I think there's a better way to approach it, because I know the concept was, well, I'm marking off what is my merch. So if you want to talk to me about my merch or buy my merch, you know who to talk to. But I agree. I think there's a better way to do it than putting up a massive cage around your store.
Yeah, it's just, I'm very tired of the narrative of that artists have to like keep secrets and like be separate. Like, it is a big pet peeve of mine. Is like, hey, I like how this printed. Where did you get it done? And they won't tell you. And it's like, I'm not going to steal your business by using your print shop. Like, I just want to know so I can price compare.
Right.
It's very annoying. Unfortunately, that way of thinking's starting to become outdated because, you know, we have the internet, so you can't hide your people forever. But still. At least for pin making, it still feels kind of like that.
Yeah, being a person who's not a creative, I have really nothing to add to this. Other than that.
Sorry, this is Sydney rants about.
No, that's okay. But like, I've heard this from other artists as well that I'm friends with, how it's very difficult to find resources. It definitely feels more like other artists are competition that you want to smother, and not so much a, hey, we should support each other and create cool things. In the behind the merch table that we went to, I liked I think her first name's Allison, and she is the delightful creative mind behind the Rock Love jewelry. Our engagement jewelry is from Rock Love. It wasn't supposed to be engagement jewelry at the time, but we kind of retroactively decided that, yes, these sterling silver necklace of Kadans that we have will be our engagement jewelry. But she was saying how she has a coalition with other jewelers who all do fandom stuff, but they specialize in different things. So she does the video game / I want to say movies? I think it's movies that she also does. But she has like a specialization, and then she knows somebody else who has a specialization. And so when people approach her and say, hey, you should make this thing from this franchise that you don't really do, she would go, hey, that's a great idea, but you know what? This person can do it better. So
they're already doing it.
Right. Or like, yeah, hey, this person is already doing that, and they're doing a great job, so you should patronize them and not me, because it's still great work. So I think it would be nice to see more of that, perhaps, being respectful of what your other creators are doing, but still kind of supporting and networking, because that will only bring more traffic to you, you would think, because you have other people marketing you as well.
Yeah. It's just very much, it's a community, not a competition.
All right, shall we talk about, really briefly, what you've drawn?
Just Noctis in his I'm Baby shirt, because, let's be real, he's the baby.
He is a child.
Getting texted by the prompto.
Prized by one of his many boyfriends.
He has many boyfriends.
All the boyfriends.
And a girlfriend.
All the friends. It's very, very delightful.
Yay.
Well, shall we wrap this up?
Yeah. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of Drawntaneous.
See ya!